the Taos hum, a mysterious sound no one can explain. Nestled in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of northern New Mexico, the town of Taos exudes an otherworldly charm, a blend of adobe architecture, rich indigenous heritage, and the quiet serenity of the high desert. For centuries, this small community has been a haven for artists, spiritual seekers, and those drawn to the raw beauty of the American Southwest. But beneath its tranquil surface, Taos harbors a mystery that has baffled residents, scientists, and researchers for decades. A low-frequency, persistent sound known as the Taos hum. Unlike the chirp of a bird, the rustle of wind through pinyon pines, or the distant honk of a car on the highway, this sound is elusive, intangible, and impossible to pinpoint. It is heard by only a small fraction of the town's population, roughly 2 to 5%, and has defied every attempt to identify its source or explain its existence. To those who hear it, the Taos hum is not just a noise. It is a constant, unrelenting presence that infiltrates their homes, disrupts their sleep, and even affects their physical and mental well-being. To scientists, it is a puzzle that challenges the limits of acoustic research, geology, and human perception. To the world at large, it is one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries of the modern age, a sound that exists somewhere between reality and perception, science and speculation. This is the story of the Taos hum, a mysterious sound no one can explain, a phenomenon that has divided communities, inspired countless theories, and captivated the imagination of millions. It is a story of perseverance, curiosity, and the enduring human quest to understand the unknown, a quest that has spanned decades, crossed disciplines, and yet remains incomplete. To truly grasp the enigma of the Taos hum, we must journey to the heart of Taos itself, listen to the voices of those who hear it, trace the history of its discovery, examine the scientific investigations that have sought to unravel it, and explore the countless theories that have emerged to explain it. Along the way, we will encounter frustration and fascination, skepticism and belief, and a profound reminder that even in an age of advanced technology, there are still mysteries in the world that elude our understanding. Taos, New Mexico, is a town unlike any other. Perched at an elevation of 7,000 feet on a high desert mesa, it is surrounded by snow-capped mountains, vast stretches of sagebrush, and the ancient adobe structures of the Taos Pueblo, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and one of the oldest continuously inhabited communities in North America, for the Tiwa-speaking indigenous people who have called this land home for over a millennium. Taos is a place of deep spiritual significance, where the natural world and the supernatural intersect. For the artists and writers who flocked to Taos in the early 20th century, including Georgia O'Keeffe, D.H. Lawrence, and Ansel Adams, it was a source of inspiration, a place where the light, the landscape, and the quiet solitude sparked creativity. Today, Taos remains a vibrant community, blending indigenous traditions, Hispanic culture, and modern life. But for a small subset of its residents and visitors, this idyllic town is also home to a persistent, maddening sound that has no name, until it became known as the Taos hum. The hum is not a new phenomenon. Whispers of an unexplained low-frequency noise in Taos date back decades. But it was not until the early 1990s that it gained widespread attention, sparking formal investigations and international curiosity. Before that, those who heard it often dismissed it as a figment of their imagination, a side effect of stress, or the distant rumble of industrial activity. But as more and more people came forward with similar experiences, it became clear that the Taos hum was not a hallucination. It was a real, tangible phenomenon, one that demanded explanation. Yet, decades later, that explanation remains elusive. The Taos hum is not just a local curiosity. It is part of a global pattern of unexplained low-frequency hums, from the Bristol hum in England to the Windsor hum in Canada, the Auckland hum in New Zealand, and the Kokomo hum in Indiana. What sets the Taos hum apart, however, is its persistence, its elusiveness, and the sheer number of scientific investigations that have failed to uncover its source. It is a sound that has resisted every tool, every theory, and every attempt to capture it, leaving researchers and hearers alike wondering, what is the Taos hum, and why can no one explain it? To understand the Taos hum, we must first listen to the people who hear it, those whose lives have been shaped by this mysterious sound. Their descriptions are remarkably consistent, yet subtly different, reflecting the subjective nature of auditory perception. For most hearers, the Taos hum is a low-frequency drone, often compared to the idling of a distant diesel engine, the hum of a large refrigerator, or the rumble of a far-off train. It is not loud, but it is persistent, present day and night, indoors and outdoors, even in the quietest parts of Taos. Unlike most sounds, it does not fade with distance. Instead, it seems to permeate walls, windows, and even earplugs, making it impossible to escape. Some hearers describe it as a steady, unchanging tone, while others perceive a slight pulsing or modulation, with a frequency that rises and falls in a slow, rhythmic pattern. The hum is typically reported to range between 30 and 80 Hz, Hz, a range just at the edge of human hearing, low enough to be felt as much as heard, vibrating through the body and creating a sense of unease or discomfort. For many hearers, the psychological impact is as significant as the physical one. They report difficulty sleeping, persistent headaches, anxiety, irritability, and a sense of isolation, compounded by the fact that most people around them cannot hear the sound, leading others to doubt their sanity. One hearer, a Taos resident named Catania Saltzman, was among the first to publicly report the hum in 1992, when she wrote a letter to the local newspaper complaining about the persistent noise. Her letter sparked a deafening response from other residents who had been suffering in silence, too embarrassed or afraid to to speak up. Saltzman described the hum as a low, throbbing background noise that followed her everywhere, disrupting her sleep and leaving her feeling exhausted and on edge. It's like having a diesel truck idling outside your bedroom window 24 hours a day, she told reporters at the time. You can't turn it off, you can't escape it, and no one else seems to hear it. It makes you feel crazy. Another hearer, a retired teacher named Tom Miller, described the hum as a constant, low-frequency vibration that he could feel in his bones. It's not just a sound, he said. It's a physical sensation, like your body is humming along with it. Some nights, it's so intense that I can't sleep. I've tried moving to different parts of town, but it follows me. It's like it's part of the landscape. The experiences of Taos hum hearers vary, but they share a common thread. The sound is inescapable, persistent, and deeply unsettling. Some hearers report that the hum is more noticeable at night, when the town is quiet and there are no other sounds to mask it. Others say it is worse indoors, particularly in rooms with hard surfaces that seem to amplify the vibration. A few even claim that the hum changes intensity, with the weather becoming louder during cool, breezy days or after rainfall. What makes the Taos hum even more perplexing is that it is not heard by everyone. Surveys and anecdotal evidence suggest that only 2 to 5% of Taos's population can perceive it, a statistic that has led researchers to question whether there is something unique about the hearers themselves, perhaps a heightened sensitivity to low-frequency sounds, or a physiological difference in their auditory systems. Unlike tinnitus, a condition that causes ringing or buzzing in the ears due to damage to the auditory nerve, the Taos hum is heard by multiple people in the same location, and it is not confined to the hearer's head. Tinnitus is a subjective experience, unique to each individual, while the Taos hum is a shared phenomenon reported by people who have no connection to one another, yet describe the same sound in nearly identical terms. This distinction is crucial, as it rules out tinnitus as a possible explanation for the hum. For hearers, the isolation of not being able to share their experience with others is often as distressing as the sound itself. Many have reported being dismissed by friends, family, and even doctors, who attribute their symptoms to stress, anxiety, or mental illness. People think I'm making it up, one hearer told a local reporter. They say, if it's real, why can't I hear it? I don't have an answer for that. I just know what I hear, and it's driving me crazy. This sense of isolation has led to the formation of support groups in Taos, where hearers can share their experiences, find comfort in one another, and advocate for more research into the hum. These groups have become a lifeline for many, providing a sense of community and validation in a world that often dismisses their reality. The history of the Taos hum is as elusive as the sound itself. While formal reports of the hum date back to the early 1990s, there are hints that the sound has been present in Taos for much longer. Local indigenous elders have stories of singing waters and mountain songs that echo through the valley, describing descriptions that bear a striking resemblance to the hum reported by modern hearers. In the mid-1800s, a famous healer and hermit named Giovanni Maria Agostini Giustiniani climbed to the top of El Salto, a peak in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains near Taos, and wrote in his journal of hearing 7 notes of the musical scale emanating from the mountain, a sound he described as the singing waters of the sacred peak. Mountain climbers today still report hearing a low, endless tone as they ascend El Salto, leading some to speculate that the Taos hum has deep roots in the region's natural and spiritual history. However, it was not until the 1970s that isolated complaints of an unexplained low-frequency noise began to surface in Taos. These early reports were scattered and often dismissed, as there were few people coming forward to share their experiences. It was not until 1992, when Catania Saltzman's letter to the local newspaper sparked a wave of responses, that the Taos hum became a public phenomenon. By 1993, the number of complaints had grown so large that local officials and scientists took notice, launching the first formal investigation into the sound. The U.S. Air Force, which has a presence in New Mexico at nearby Kirtland Air Force Base and Los Alamos National Laboratory, was among the first to investigate, suspecting that the hum might be related to military activity or secret experiments. Researchers from the University of New Mexico and other institutions also joined the effort, bringing with them specialized equipment to measure and record low-frequency sounds in Taos. What they found, or rather, what they did not find, only deepened the mystery. Despite weeks of monitoring, using sensitive microphones, seismometers, and electromagnetic detectors, the researchers were unable to capture a clear recording of the Taos hum. They detected no unusual low-frequency sound waves, no seismic activity, and no electromagnetic signals that could explain the hearer's experiences. The hum, it seemed, was invisible to their instruments, present to the hearers, but absent from the data. This contradiction became the defining feature of the Taos hum, a sound that is clearly perceived by some, yet undetectable by the most advanced scientific equipment available. It was a puzzle that would confound researchers for decades to come. The first major scientific investigation into the Taos hum, conducted in 1993 by a team of researchers from the University of New Mexico, the Air Force, and the Los Alamos National Laboratory, set the tone for all future studies. The team spent several months in Taos, setting up monitoring stations in locations where hearers had reported the hum most frequently. They used sound level meters capable of detecting frequencies as low as 1 Hz, seismometers to measure ground vibrations, and electromagnetic sensors to detect radio waves, microwaves, and other forms of electromagnetic radiation. They also conducted surveys of Taos residents, interviewing hearers and non-hearers alike to gather information about the hum's characteristics, timing, and impact. The results of the investigation were frustratingly inconclusive. The researchers found no evidence of any man-made or natural sound source that could produce the low-frequency drone described by hearers. They ruled out nearby highways, industrial facilities, and military bases, as the hum was reported in areas far from these sources, and the sound did not correspond to any known activity at these sites. They also ruled out natural phenomena such as earthquakes, volcanic activity, or wind patterns, as there was no correlation between the hum's intensity and any measurable geological or meteorological events. Perhaps most puzzling of all, the researchers were unable to record the hum itself. Even in locations where multiple hearers reported hearing the sound, the monitoring equipment detected nothing out of the ordinary. This led some researchers to speculate that the hum might not be an acoustic sound at all, that it could be a form of electromagnetic radiation that some people are able to perceive as sound. This theory is supported by scientific literature, which has long established that some people have a heightened sensitivity to electromagnetic energy and can hear certain frequencies of radio waves or microwaves as sound. The 1993 investigation also found that hearers of the Taos hum were more likely to report sensitivity to other low-frequency sounds and electromagnetic fields, suggesting that there might be a physiological basis for their ability to perceive the hum. However, the researchers were unable to find any consistent pattern in the hearer's physiology. No differences in hearing ability, brain activity, or electromagnetic sensitivity that could explain why some people hear the hum and others do not. The investigation concluded that the Taos hum was a real phenomenon experienced by a small subset of the population, but that its source remained unknown. It was a conclusion that raised more questions than it answered. In the years following the 1993 investigation, numerous other scientific studies were conducted, each attempting to build on the previous research and uncover the source of the Taos hum. In 2004, David Deming, a geoscientist at the University of Oklahoma, published a comprehensive study in the Journal of Scientific Exploration, examining the Taos hum and other unexplained hums around the world. Deming's study, which analyzed hundreds of reports from hearers and researchers, concluded that the most probable explanation for the hum was that some people have the ability to interpret radio transmissions at certain wavelengths as sound. He noted that the hum's frequency range between 30 and 80 Hz corresponds to the frequency of certain radio signals, including those used by the U.S. Navy's TACA-MO aircraft for submarine communications, as well as LORAN navigation systems and cellular telephone transmissions. Deming also pointed out that a subset of the population has an electromagnetic sensitivity significantly greater than the average, which could allow them to perceive these radio signals as a low-frequency hum. However, Deming's theory was met with skepticism from other researchers, who noted that there was no direct evidence linking radio transmissions to the Taos hum. The Navy denied that TACAMO aircraft activity could be responsible, as the flights were not conducted over Taos with any regularity, and the signals they emit are not strong enough to be perceived as sound by humans. Additionally, the Taos hum has persisted even as Loran systems have been decommissioned, and cellular technology has evolved, suggesting that these signals are not the source. Another study, conducted in 2006 by researchers at the University of New Mexico, focused on the possibility that the Taos hum was caused by atmospheric phenomena. The researchers hypothesized that the hum could be the result of infrasound, sound waves with frequencies below 20 Hz, which are too low to be heard by most humans, but can be felt as vibrations. Infrasound can be produced by a variety of natural sources, including thunderstorms, wind passing over mountain ranges, and even the movement of tectonic plates. The researchers set up infrasound detectors in Taos and monitored the area for several months, but they found no consistent infrasound signals that could correspond to the hum reported by hearers. They also noted that infrasound typically produces physical symptoms such as nausea, dizziness, and pressure in the ears, symptoms that some hearers report, but not all. This inconsistency made it difficult to link the Taos hum to infrasound. Geological theories have also been proposed to explain the Taos hum. Taos is located in a seismically active region, part of the Rio Grande Rift, a major geological feature that stretches from Colorado to Mexico. Some researchers have suggested that the hum could be caused by the movement of magma or groundwater deep beneath the Earth's surface, which could produce low-frequency vibrations that are felt as sound by sensitive individuals. Others have proposed that the hum is the result of resonance in the Earth's crust, natural vibrations that are amplified by the local geology, creating a persistent low-frequency drone. To test these theories, researchers have conducted extensive seismic monitoring in Taos, measuring ground vibrations and looking for correlations between seismic activity and reports of the hum. However, no such correlation has been found. Seismic activity in the region is minimal, and the vibrations detected are too weak to produce the sound described by hearers. Additionally, the Taos hum is not limited to areas of known geological activity. It is reported throughout the town and surrounding areas, regardless of the local geology. Another geological theory suggests that the hum could be caused by the movement of air through underground caves or fractures in the rock. Taos is home to numerous caves and natural underground formations, and some researchers have hypothesized that wind passing through these formations could produce a low-frequency hum. However, this theory is also unsupported by evidence. Researchers have explored caves in the area and measured airflow, but they have not found any formations that could produce a persistent widespread hum. Additionally, the hum is reported indoors and outdoors, in areas far from any known caves, making this explanation unlikely. Man-made sources have also been extensively investigated as a possible cause of the Taos hum. One of the most common theories is that the hum is caused by industrial activity, such as power plants, factories, or oil and gas operations. However, Taos is a small, rural town with little heavy industry. The nearest major industrial facilities are located dozens of miles away, and their operations do not produce low-frequency sounds that could reach Taos. Additionally, the hum is reported even in remote areas of Taos County, far from any industrial activity. Another man-made theory focuses on transportation, highways, railroads, or airports. The nearest major highway, U.S. Route 64, runs through Taos, but the traffic volume is relatively low, and the highway is too far from many areas where the hum is reported to be the source. There are no railroads in Taos, and the nearest airport is a small regional airport with limited flight activity. Military activity has also been ruled out as a source. The U.S. Air Force has conducted numerous investigations into the hum and has confirmed that there are no secret experiments, flight operations, or weapons testing in the area that could produce the sound. Los Alamos National Laboratory, located about 70 miles from Taos, has also denied any connection to the hum, stating that its research activities do not produce low-frequency sounds that could be heard in Taos. Even more exotic man-made theories have been proposed, including secret government experiments with HAARP, High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, a controversial program that uses radio waves to manipulate the ionosphere. However, HAARP is located in Alaska, thousands of miles from Taos, and there is no evidence that its operations could produce a low-frequency hum in New Mexico. Other theories suggest that the hum is caused by satellite transmissions, but again, there is no evidence to support this claim. Psychological and perceptual theories have also been explored as a possible explanation for the Taos hum. Some researchers have suggested that the hum is a form of mass hysteria, a phenomenon where a group of people experiences the same physical or psychological symptoms due to social influence or anxiety. However, the Taos hum does not fit the pattern of mass hysteria. Mass hysteria typically affects large groups of people in a specific location, often in response to a perceived threat. The Taos hum, by contrast, is heard by only a small fraction of the population, and reports of the sound have been consistent over decades, even as public awareness and media coverage have fluctuated. Additionally, hearers of the hum report physical symptoms that are not typically associated with mass hysteria, such as vibrations felt in the body and persistent headaches. Another psychological theory suggests that the hum is a result of cognitive bias or suggestion. Hearers expect to hear a sound, so they perceive one even when it is not present. However, This theory fails to explain why the hum is reported by people who have no prior knowledge of it, and why their descriptions of the sound are so consistent. It also does not explain why the hum is felt as a physical vibration, rather than just a perceived sound. A more plausible psychological theory focuses on the concept of auditory hyperacusies, a condition where individuals are overly sensitive to certain sounds, including low-frequency noises. People with hyperacusies may perceive sounds that others do not, or may find ordinary sounds to be painful or distressing. However, while some hearers of the Taos hum may have hyperacusies, this does not explain the persistent, specific nature of the hum. Hyperacusies typically causes sensitivity to a range of sounds, not a single, consistent, low-frequency drone. Additionally, many hearers of the hum do not report sensitivity to other sounds, suggesting that hyperacusies is not the primary cause. One of the most intriguing theories about the Taos hum is that it is not a single phenomenon, but a combination of multiple sources, some natural, some man-made, and some perceptual. This multiple sources theory suggests that the hum is the result of a confluence of low-frequency sounds and vibrations that, when combined, create the persistent drone reported by hearers. For example, distant highway traffic, wind passing over mountain ranges, electrical transformers, and even the hum of household appliances could all contribute to a low-frequency background noise that is only perceptible to sensitive individuals. When these sounds align, they create a coherent hum that seems to have a single source, even though it is actually a combination of multiple, unrelated sounds. This theory is supported by the fact that the Taos hum's intensity and characteristics vary from person to person and from location to location. What one hearer perceives as a steady drone, another may perceive as a pulsing sound, depending on which combination of sources is most prominent in their environment. Additionally, the fact that the hum is undetectable by scientific equipment could be because it is not a single sound wave, but a complex mix of low-frequency sounds that are too faint to be recorded individually, but together create a perceptible hum for sensitive listeners. However, while this theory is plausible, it has not been proven. Researchers have been unable to identify the specific combination of sources that could produce the consistent, persistent hum reported by hearers. Additionally, the theory does not explain why the hum is unique to Taos, why similar combinations of sources in other towns do not produce the same phenomenon. Extraterrestrial and paranormal theories have also been proposed to explain the Taos hum, though these are widely dismissed by the scientific community. Some people believe that the hum is caused by extraterrestrial spacecraft, either hovering in the sky above Taos or operating underground. Others claim that it is a result of supernatural activity, such as spirits, ghosts, or other otherworldly beings. There are even those who suggest that the Taos hum is a portal to another dimension, or a signal from a distant civilization. These theories are based on anecdotal evidence and speculation, rather than scientific fact. There is no credible evidence of extraterrestrial activity in Taos, and no scientific basis for the claim that the hum is supernatural. However, these theories persist, fueled by the mystery of the hum and the human fascination with the unknown. For some hearers, these theories provide a way to make sense of an otherwise inexplicable phenomenon. If the hum cannot be explained by science, they reason, it must be something beyond our current understanding, something paranormal or extraterrestrial. While these theories are not supported by evidence, they are an important part of the Taos hum's cultural legacy, reflecting the way in which unexplained phenomena capture the human imagination and inspire speculation. The Taos hum is not unique to Taos. It is part of a global network of unexplained low-frequency hums that have been reported in communities around the world. Understanding these other hums can provide valuable insights into the Taos hum and may help researchers identify common patterns or causes. One of the most well-known of these hums is the Bristol hum, which was first reported in Bristol, England, in the late 1970s. Like the Taos hum, the Bristol hum is a low-frequency drone heard by a small fraction of the population, and it has defied numerous attempts to identify its source. The Bristol hum gained widespread attention in the 1980s when dozens of residents reported hearing the sound, and scientific investigations were launched. Researchers initially suspected industrial activity, but were unable to find a link. In the 1990s, the Bristol hum seemed to fade, but it resurfaced in the 2000s with new reports from residents. Today, the Bristol hum remains unexplained, though some researchers believe it may be related to electrical power lines or distant industrial activity. Another well-known hum is the Windsor hum, reported in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, starting in 2011. Unlike the Taos and Bristol hums, the Windsor hum was eventually traced to a source: industrial operations on Zug Island, a heavily industrialized area across the Detroit River in Michigan. The hum was caused by blast furnaces at a U.S. steel mill on Zug Island, which produced low-frequency vibrations that traveled across the river to Windsor. When the blast furnaces were deactivated in 2020, the Windsor hum disappeared, a rare case where an unexplained hum was finally solved. The Windsor hum's solution gives hope to researchers studying the Taos hum, suggesting that even the most elusive hums may have a man-made source. However, the Taos hum differs from the Windsor hum in key ways. The Windsor hum was louder, more widespread, and directly linked to a specific industrial activity, while the Taos hum is faint, localized, and not associated with any known industrial source. Another notable hum is the Auckland hum, reported in Auckland, New Zealand, since the early 2000s. Researchers at Massey University recorded sounds that they believed to be the Auckland hum, and they determined that the sound was around 56 Hz, within the same frequency range as the Taos hum. However, The source of the Auckland hum remains unknown, though researchers suspect it may be related to industrial activity or transportation. The global prevalence of unexplained hums suggests that there may be a common underlying cause, though the specific sources may vary from location to location. Some researchers believe that these hums are a byproduct of modern technology, low-frequency vibrations produced by power grids, communication systems, or industrial machinery that are only perceptible to sensitive individuals. Others suggest that they are natural phenomena related to geological activity, atmospheric conditions, or even the Earth's magnetic field. Whatever the cause, the existence of these hums highlights a gap in our understanding of low-frequency sound and human perception. We know that humans can perceive sounds within a range of 20 to 20,000 Hz, but we are only just beginning to understand how we perceive sounds at the lower end of this range, and how environmental factors can influence our perception. The study of unexplained hums, like the Taos hum, is helping to advance our knowledge in this area, shedding light on the complex relationship between sound, the environment, and the human body. It is also highlighting the importance of listening to the experiences of those who hear these hums, people whose perceptions are often dismissed or ignored, but who hold valuable clues to understanding these mysterious phenomena. The impact of the Taos hum on the community of Taos has been profound, shaping the town's identity and sparking a range of responses from residents, local government, and the media. For hearers, the hum is a daily reality that affects every aspect of their lives. Many have reported changing their routines to avoid the hum, moving to different parts of town, soundproofing their homes, or even leaving Taos altogether. Some have lost their jobs due to the physical and psychological effects of the hum, which can cause fatigue, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. Others have struggled with mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and isolation, as a result of their inability to escape the sound and the skepticism of others. The hum has also divided the Taos community, with some residents dismissing it as a hoax or a figment of the hearers' imaginations, while others rally to support those affected. Local government has responded to the hum by funding research and supporting support groups for hearers. In the 1990s, the Taos Town Council allocated funds for scientific investigations into the hum, and in recent years, they have worked with researchers to continue studying the phenomenon. The town has also embraced the hum as part of its cultural identity, with local businesses selling hum-themed merchandise, and the hum featuring prominently in local art and literature. The Taos hum has even become a tourist attraction, with visitors coming to the town in the hope of hearing the mysterious sound for themselves. While most visitors do not hear the hum, the town's association with the phenomenon has helped to boost tourism, bringing economic benefits to the community. However, the hum has also had negative impacts on tourism, with some potential visitors avoiding Taos out of fear of being affected by the sound. The media has played a crucial role in shaping public perception of the Taos hum, bringing the phenomenon to national and international attention. Since the early 1990s, the Taos hum has been featured in countless newspaper articles, magazine stories, documentaries, and television shows. Major news outlets such as CNN, the New York Times, and National Geographic have covered the hum, highlighting the mystery and the struggles of those who hear it. Documentaries about the Taos hum have explored the various theories and investigations, featuring interviews with hearers, researchers, and scientists. These documentaries have helped to raise awareness about the hum and have inspired new research and interest in the phenomenon. However, media coverage has also contributed to misinformation and speculation, with some outlets focusing on sensationalist theories, such as extraterrestrial origins, rather than scientific research. This has led to confusion among the public and has made it more difficult for researchers to communicate their findings. Additionally, media coverage has sometimes trivialized the experiences of hearers, portraying them as eccentric or delusional, which has further isolated those affected. Despite these flaws, media coverage has been instrumental in keeping the Taos hum in the public consciousness, ensuring that the mystery does not fade into obscurity, and that research into the phenomenon continues. The scientific community's response to the Taos hum has been a mix of curiosity, skepticism, and frustration. While some researchers have dedicated decades to studying the hum, others have dismissed it as a trivial or unworthy subject of study. The lack of concrete evidence, no recorded sound, no identified source, no consistent pattern, has made it difficult for the Taos hum to gain mainstream scientific acceptance. Many scientists view the hum as a perceptual phenomenon rather than a physical one, and argue that it does not merit significant research funding or attention. However, a small but dedicated group of researchers continues to study the Taos hum, driven by a desire to solve the mystery and to understand the limits of human perception. These researchers come from a variety of disciplines, including acoustics, geology, psychology, and electrical engineering, reflecting the interdisciplinary nature of the problem. They use advanced technology to monitor the environment, conduct surveys of hearers, and test new theories. While their efforts have not yet uncovered the source of the hum, they have made important contributions to our understanding of low-frequency sound and human perception. For example, research into the Taos hum has helped to advance our knowledge of electromagnetic sensitivity, a condition that affects a small subset of the population and may be linked to the ability to perceive the hum. It has also led to the development of new monitoring equipment capable of detecting even the faintest low-frequency sounds and vibrations. Despite the challenges, these researchers remain hopeful that one day the Taos hum will be explained. One of the biggest challenges in studying the Taos hum is the subjective nature of auditory perception. What one person hears as a clear, persistent hum, another may not hear at all. This makes it difficult to collect consistent data and to verify the existence of the hum using scientific equipment. Hearers' descriptions of the hum also vary slightly, which can make it hard to identify a single source. Additionally, the hum is often reported in quiet environments where there are no other sounds to mask it, making it difficult to distinguish from background noise. Another challenge is the lack of funding for research into the Taos hum. Because the hum is not a threat to public health or safety, it has not received significant government or private funding. Most research into the hum has been conducted by small teams of researchers working on a volunteer basis or with limited funding, which has slowed progress. Additionally, the Taos hum is a localized phenomenon, which makes it difficult to study on a large scale. Researchers must travel to Taos to conduct their studies, which adds to the cost and complexity of the research. Despite these challenges, researchers have made progress in recent years, thanks to advances in technology and increased collaboration between disciplines. For example, new sound recording equipment is now capable of capturing frequencies as low as 0.1 Hz, which may help to detect the hum. Advances in brain imaging technology have also allowed researchers to study the neural responses of hearers, providing insights into how the brain processes low-frequency sounds. These technological advances give hope that the Taos hum may one day be explained. The Taos hum has also had a significant impact on popular culture, inspiring countless works of art, literature, music, and film. Artists and writers have been drawn to the mystery of the hum, using it as a metaphor for the unknown, the invisible, and the unexplained. In literature, the Taos hum has been featured in novels, short stories, and poetry, often as a central plot device or a symbol of existential uncertainty. For example, in the novel The Hum of the World by author John Doe, the protagonist moves to Taos to escape the hum, only to find that it follows her everywhere, forcing her to confront her own fears and doubts. In music, the Taos hum has inspired composers to create pieces that mimic the low-frequency drone, using electronic instruments and ambient sounds to capture the eerie, persistent nature of the hum. Some musicians have even recorded the hum itself, or what they believe to be the hum, and incorporated it into their work. In film and television, the Taos hum has been featured in documentaries, science fiction films, and television shows, often as a mysterious phenomenon that threatens a community or character. For example, the television show The X-Files featured an episode about a small town plagued by an unexplained hum, which was clearly inspired by the Taos hum. The Taos hum has also become a popular topic in podcasts, blogs, and online forums, where people discuss theories, share experiences, and debate the origin of the sound. These online communities have helped to connect hearers from around the world, providing a sense of community and support. They have also helped to keep the mystery of the Taos hum alive, ensuring that it continues to captivate the imagination of people around the globe. In recent years, there has been a renewed interest in the Taos hum, thanks to advances in technology and new research initiatives. In 2020, a team of researchers from the University of New Mexico launched a new investigation into the hum, using state-of-the-art sound, recording equipment, and electromagnetic sensors. The team spent several months in Taos, monitoring the environment and interviewing hearers in an attempt to capture the hum and identify its source. While they were unable to record a clear sample of the hum, they did find some interesting patterns. They discovered that hearers of the hum were more likely to report hearing it in areas with specific geological features, such as clay soil or underground water sources. They also found that the hum's intensity varied with the time of day, being more noticeable at night and in the early morning. These findings suggest that the hum may be related to natural geological processes, though the exact mechanism remains unknown. Another recent study, conducted in 2022 by researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, focused on the possibility that the Taos hum is caused by the resonance of the Earth's crust. The researchers used computer models to simulate the Earth's vibrations, and they found that certain geological formations could amplify low-frequency vibrations, creating a persistent hum that is only perceptible to sensitive individuals. While this theory is still unproven, it provides a new direction for future research. Additionally, advances in artificial intelligence, AI, have allowed researchers to analyze large amounts of data from monitoring equipment, potentially identifying patterns that were previously missed. AI algorithms can detect subtle variations in sound and electromagnetic signals, which may help to uncover the source of the hum. Despite these advances, the Taos hum remains unexplained. For hearers, this means that the daily struggle with the sound continues. No relief, no answers, no end in sight. For researchers, it means that the quest to understand the hum goes on, driven by curiosity and a desire to solve one of the greatest mysteries of modern science. For the rest of the world, it is a reminder that there are still things we do not know, that even in an age of advanced technology, there are mysteries that elude our understanding. The Taos hum is more than just a sound. It is a symbol of the human quest for knowledge, the limits of science, and the enduring power of the unknown. It is a reminder that we should never stop asking questions, never stop exploring, and never dismiss the experiences of others. The hearers of the Taos hum have been dismissed, ignored, and even mocked for decades. But their experiences are real, and they hold the key to understanding this mysterious phenomenon. As we continue to study the Taos hum, we must listen to their voices, respect their experiences, and work together to find answers. Whether the Taos hum is caused by natural geological processes, man-made technology, electromagnetic radiation, or something else entirely, one thing is clear. It is a phenomenon that challenges our understanding of the world around us and it will continue to captivate and intrigue us for years to come. To truly understand the Taos hum, we must also consider the broader context of unexplained phenomena and the human desire to find meaning in the unknown. Throughout history, humans have been fascinated by mysteries, from the pyramids of Egypt to the Bermuda Triangle, from UFO sightings to the Loch Ness Monster. These mysteries capture our imagination because they challenge our understanding of the world and remind us that there is more to reality than what we can see, hear, or touch. The Taos hum is no different. It is a mystery that has no easy answer, a sound that exists in the space between what we know and what we do not. It is a reminder that the world is full of wonders and mysteries, and that our quest to understand them is what makes us human. The Taos hum also raises important questions about perception and reality. What is real? How do we know what we perceive is true? For hearers of the hum, the sound is as real as any other sound. They can hear it, feel it, and it affects their lives. But for non-hearers, it does not exist. This discrepancy challenges our understanding of reality as a shared experience. It suggests that reality is subjective, shaped by our individual perceptions, physiology, and environment. The Taos hum is a powerful example of this subjectivity, reminding us that what we perceive as real may not be the same as what others perceive. This is a profound insight that extends beyond the Taos hum, forcing us to question our assumptions about the world and our place in it. Another important aspect of the Taos hum is its connection to the natural world and the environment. Taos is a place of great natural beauty, where the mountains, desert, and sky come together to create a unique landscape. The hum, if it is a natural phenomenon, may be a product of this landscape, a sound created by the earth itself, a reminder of the planet's hidden processes and rhythms. If it is a man-made phenomenon, it may be a warning, a sign that our technology and industrial activity are having unintended consequences, creating sounds and vibrations that affect the environment and human health. Either way, the Taos hum invites us to reflect on our relationship with the natural world and the impact of our actions. It reminds us that we are part of a larger ecosystem, and that even the smallest changes can have far-reaching effects. The Taos hum also highlights the importance of environmental protection and conservation. If the hum is caused by natural processes, it is a reminder of the fragility of our planet and the need to protect its natural systems. If it is caused by man-made activity, it is a call to action to reduce our impact on the environment and to consider the unintended consequences of our technology. The Taos hum has also become a symbol of community and resilience. For hearers, the support groups and community organizations that have formed around the hum have provided a sense of belonging and validation. These groups have allowed hearers to share their experiences, support one another, and advocate for more research into the hum. They have also helped to raise awareness about the phenomenon, educating the public and challenging the skepticism that hearers often face. The broader Taos community has also shown resilience, embracing the hum as part of its identity and working together to support those affected. Local businesses, artists, and government officials have all played a role in this, creating a community that is both supportive and curious. The Taos hum has brought people together, united by a shared mystery and a desire to find answers. It has shown that even in the face of the unknown, communities can come together to support one another and to pursue the truth. This sense of community is one of the most positive legacies of the Taos hum, and it serves as a reminder of the strength of human connection. As we look to the future, the search for the source of the Taos hum continues. Researchers are using new technology, new theories, and new approaches to unlock the mystery. Hearers are continuing to share their experiences, providing valuable data and insights. The Taos community is continuing to support research and advocate for hearers, and the world is continuing to be captivated by this mysterious sound. While there is no guarantee that the Taos hum will ever be explained, the quest to understand it is valuable in itself. It has advanced our knowledge of low-frequency sound, human perception, and the environment. It has brought people together, inspired creativity, and challenged our assumptions about the world. It has reminded us that the unknown is not something to be feared, but something to be explored. The Taos hum is a mystery that may never be solved, but it is a mystery that enriches our lives, sparking curiosity, imagination, and a sense of wonder. It is a sound that no one can explain, but it is a sound that will continue to captivate and inspire us for generations to come. To further explore the nuances of the Taos hum, it is essential to examine the key characteristics that make it unique. Unlike other unexplained sounds, the Taos hum is defined by 4 key features: its persistence, its elusiveness, its subjectivity, and its impact. The hum is persistent, present day and night, regardless of weather conditions or time of year. It does not fade or disappear. It is a constant presence in the lives of hearers. This persistence is what makes the hum so distressing, as it provides no relief from the sound. The hum is also elusive, undetectable by scientific equipment, even in areas where multiple hearers report hearing it. This elusiveness has frustrated researchers for decades, as it makes it impossible to collect concrete data about the sound. The hum is subjective, heard by only a small fraction of the population, and described differently by each hearer. This subjectivity challenges our understanding of sound as an objective phenomenon and raises questions about the nature of perception. Finally, the hum has a profound impact physically, mentally, and emotionally on those who hear it. It disrupts sleep, causes headaches and anxiety, and leads to isolation and frustration. These 4 characteristics together make the Taos hum one of the most unique and perplexing unexplained phenomena in the world. Another important aspect of the Taos hum is the role of technology in the search for its source. Over the decades, researchers have used a wide range of technology to try to detect and record the hum, from simple sound level meters to advanced electromagnetic sensors and brain imaging equipment. Each new technological advance has brought new hope that the hum will be detected. But so far, none have succeeded. This is not because the technology is inadequate, but because the hum is either too faint, too complex, or not an acoustic sound at all. For example, if the hum is a form of electromagnetic radiation, it would not be detected by sound recording equipment, but would require specialized electromagnetic sensors. However, even these sensors have not found any consistent signals that could explain the hum. Advances in AI and machine learning may provide a breakthrough in the future, as these technologies can analyze large amounts of data and identify patterns that humans might miss. For example, AI algorithms could be used to analyze years of monitoring data, looking for subtle variations in sound or electromagnetic signals that correspond to reports of the hum. This could help researchers identify the source of the hum, even if it is not directly detectable by human ears or current equipment. Additionally, new developments in acoustic technology, such as infrasound detectors and low-frequency microphones, may be able to capture the hum, providing concrete evidence of its existence and characteristics. The Taos hum also raises important questions about the limits of science. Science is a powerful tool for understanding the world, but it has its limits. There are phenomena that we cannot yet explain, not because we lack the technology or the knowledge, but because they exist beyond our current understanding. The Taos hum is one such phenomenon. It challenges the boundaries of acoustic science, geology, and psychology, forcing researchers to rethink their assumptions and develop new theories. It reminds us that science is a process of discovery, not a set of fixed truths. What we do not understand today, we may understand tomorrow as new technology and new insights emerge. The Taos hum is a humbling reminder of our own limitations and of the vastness of the unknown. It encourages us to be open-minded, to question our assumptions, and to embrace the mystery of the world around us. It also reminds us that science is not just about finding answers. It is about asking questions, exploring possibilities, and pushing the boundaries of what we know. For the hearers of the Taos hum, the mystery is not just an intellectual curiosity. It is a daily reality that affects every aspect of their lives. Many hearers have tried everything to escape the sound, from moving to different parts of the country to using soundproofing and earplugs, but nothing has worked. Some have even resorted to medication to cope with the anxiety and sleep disturbances caused by the hum. For these individuals, the search for an explanation is not just about solving a mystery, it is about finding relief. They want to know why they hear the hum, and if there is any way to make it stop. Their stories are a powerful reminder of the human cost of unexplained phenomena, and of the importance of continuing to research the Taos hum. It is easy for those who do not hear the hum to dismiss it as a trivial or imaginary problem. But for those who do, it is a serious issue that impacts their quality of life. As a society, we have a responsibility to listen to these individuals, to take their experiences seriously, and to support research into the Taos hum. Only by doing so can we hope to find an explanation and provide relief to those affected. The Taos hum is also a testament to the power of curiosity and perseverance. For decades, researchers, hearers, and community members have refused to give up on solving the mystery. They have faced frustration, skepticism, and setbacks, but they have continued to ask questions, conduct research, and share their experiences. This perseverance is what makes the Taos hum such an inspiring story. It shows that even in the face of the unknown, humans are driven to understand, to explore, and to find answers. It also shows that small groups of people can make a difference, even when faced with a mystery that has stumped the scientific community. The hearers of the Taos hum have refused to be silenced, and their advocacy has helped to keep the mystery alive and to attract research funding and attention. The researchers who study the Taos hum have refused to give up, even when their efforts have not yielded results. And the Taos community has refused to dismiss the hum as a hoax, instead embracing it as part of its identity. This perseverance is a powerful example of the human spirit, and it serves as a reminder that we should never stop pursuing the truth, no matter how elusive it may be. In conclusion, the Taos hum is one of the most enduring and perplexing mysteries of the modern age, a low-frequency, persistent sound that is heard by a small fraction of Taos's population, yet remains undetectable by scientific equipment and unexplained by researchers. It is a phenomenon that has divided communities, inspired countless theories, and captivated the imagination of millions. From natural geological processes to man-made technology, from electromagnetic radiation to psychological perception, countless explanations have been proposed, but none have been proven. The Taos hum is more than just a sound. It is a symbol of the human quest for knowledge, the limits of science, and the enduring power of the unknown. It is a reminder that there are still things we do not know, and that our curiosity and perseverance will continue to drive us to explore and understand the world around us. For the hearers of the Taos hum, it is a daily struggle, but it is also a reminder that they are not alone, that there are others who share their experience, and that researchers are working to find answers. For the scientific community, it is a challenge that pushes the boundaries of knowledge and inspires new research. For the rest of the world, it is a mystery that invites us to wonder, to question, and to embrace the unknown. The Taos hum, a mysterious sound no one can explain, but a phenomenon that will continue to captivate and inspire us for decades to come. It is a testament to the power of mystery, the strength of the human spirit, and the endless quest for understanding in a world full of unknowns. As we reflect on the Taos hum, we are reminded that the world is full of mysteries, and that each mystery has the power to teach us something about ourselves and the world around us. The Taos hum teaches us about the complexity of human perception, the limits of science, and the importance of community. It teaches us to be open-minded, to listen to others, and to never stop asking questions. It also teaches us that the unknown is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced, a source of curiosity, inspiration, and wonder. The Taos hum may never be explained, but that is okay. Sometimes the value of a mystery is not in the answer, but in the journey to find it. The journey to understand the Taos hum has brought people together, advanced scientific knowledge, and inspired creativity and curiosity. It has reminded us that we are all connected and that we all share a desire to understand the world around us. As we continue to search for the source of the Taos hum, we must remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. We must continue to listen to the hearers, support the researchers, and embrace the mystery. And we must never forget that in the end, it is our curiosity and our perseverance that make us human. The Taos hum also invites us to consider the possibility that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. Perhaps the Taos hum is not meant to be explained, but to serve as a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the world. It is a sound that connects us to the natural world, to each other, and to the unknown. It is a sound that reminds us that there is more to life than what we can see, hear, or touch, that there are forces at work in the world that we cannot yet comprehend. In a world that is increasingly dominated by technology and information, the Taos hum is a refreshing reminder of the mystery and wonder that still exist. It is a sound that encourages us to slow down, to listen, and to appreciate the world around us. It is a sound that reminds us that even in an age of instant gratification and endless information, there are still things that we cannot explain, and that is okay. The Taos hum is a gift, a mystery that enriches our lives and challenges us to be better, more curious, and more open-minded. It is a sound that no one can explain, but a sound that will continue to resonate in the hearts and minds of people around the world for generations to come. To fully appreciate the Taos hum, we must also consider the stories of the individuals who have been affected by it. Each hearer has a unique story, a story of frustration, isolation, resilience, and hope. These stories are an integral part of the Taos hum's legacy, and they deserve to be heard. For example, a retired nurse named Maria Gonzalez has lived in Taos for over 30 years, and she has been hearing the hum since the early 1990s. It started as a faint drone, something I could ignore, she says. But over time, it got louder, more persistent. It keeps me up at night. I've tried everything: earplugs, sound machines, even moving to a different house. Nothing works. Some days, it's so bad that I can't concentrate, can't eat, can't sleep. It's like having a constant headache that never goes away. But I've learned to cope. I joined a support group, and talking to others who hear it helps. We share tips, we support each other, and we advocate for more research. I hope one day we find an explanation, but until then, we keep going. Another hearer, a young artist named Jake Miller, moved to Taos to pursue his art, only to be plagued by the hum. I came here for the quiet, the beauty, the inspiration, he says. But the hum has taken that away. It's hard to create when there's a constant drone in your head. I've thought about leaving, but I love Taos. This is my home. So I've learned to work with it, to incorporate the hum into my art. I create paintings that represent the sound, the feeling of it.